Okay, all of you? So let's see what gets absorbed in the body. Certain nutrients get absorbed in mouth, certain in stomach, certain in small intestine and certain in large intestine. Mouth में क्या क्या absorb होता है? Certain drugs coming in contact with the mucosa of the mouth and the lower side of the tongue are absorbed into blood capillaries lining them. Sir, mouth में कुछ medicines absorb होती है. A very beautiful logic एक medicine होती है called as sorbitrate. Sorbitrate is absorbed from the mouth. तो किसी को अगर एक हार्ट अटैक आया है, हार्ट अटैक में सर द पर्सन कैन डाई, तो यू हैव टू गिव अ मेडिसिन व्हिच कैन इमीडिएटली रिलीव हिम ऑफ हिज हार्ट अटैक. तो सर इफ यू गिव अ मेडिसिन which will get absorbed from stomach, intestine, it will take time. तो टाइम लगता है. Esophagus में फूड passes को 15-20 minutes, फिर स्टमक में जाएगा, फिर इंटेस्टाइन में. तो आपको कोई ऐसी मेडिसिन देनी है जो इंस्टेंटली हार्ट अटैक का पेन रिलीव करे. तो ये मेडिसिन होती है कॉल्ड एज सॉर्बिट्रेट. उसको टंग के नीचे रख देते हैं. And from the tongue part, there are lots of blood vessels in the tongue. Sorbitrate tongue के blood vessels से immediately absorb होती है and it acts on the heart and prevents the angina pain of the heart and protects the heart from a heart attack. Next we have stomach. Stomach helps in the absorption of water, simple sugars and alcohol. Stomach में water absorb होता है, थोड़ा सा water gets absorbed from stomach. Simple sugars like glucose gets absorbed from stomach and alcohol gets absorbed from stomach. इसीलिए when a person drinks alcohol within 15 to 20 minutes he starts getting dizziness because alcohol gets absorbed from the stomach itself and 20-15 minutes के अंदर alcohol absorb होता है, it acts on the brain and immediately starts giving him the dizziness and he starts enjoying the effects of alcohol. और इसका भी एक मेडिकल एप्लीकेशन है. बहुत सारे कफ सिरप जो बच्चों को देते हैं, डाइलोसिन, विकोरिल, बेनाड्रिल, सुना होगा ऑल ऑफ यू, पिया करेगा आपने. कफ सिरप के अंदर मेडिसिन होती है और उसका बेस होता है अल्कोहल. एंड यू गिव 1 teaspoon to the child, he is coughing a lot. Within about 15 to 20 minutes, alcohol के साथ that medicine is absorbed from the stomach and will act on the throat and relieve the pain of the coughing that the child is having. So alcohol based cough syrups like digoxin, vicoril, benadryl are absorbed from the stomach. From the small intestine, majority of substances get absorbed. Glucose, fructose, galactose, amino acid, fatty acid, glycerol, water, सब कुछ mainly small intestine से absorb होता है. और small intestine में भी कुछ medicines absorb होती है. Now, nice logic. Certain medicines are required by the body to be given. Problem is, if you give that medicine orally, it goes in the stomach and that medicine does not survive in the HCl of the stomach. So, stomach के concentrated, the concentrated pH of the stomach, 1.8 pH of the stomach, HCl destroys the medicine. तो हम क्या करते हैं, मेडिसिन को एक जिलेटिन कैप्सूल में डालते हैं, and that capsule is surrounded by a gelatin coat, and that becomes a capsule, and that capsule is taken. HCl has no effect on the gelatin. Gelatin HCl से एसिडिक पीएच में gelatin dissolve नहीं होता है. हाँ, but once the medicine enters into intestine, intestine के alkaline pH में gelatin gets dissolved, and that means that medicine now can get absorbed from your small intestine. And you have large intestine, where absorption of water, some minerals and drugs take place. Large intestine में water, some minerals and drugs, medicines take place. Sir, अगर एक person को severe कैंसर पेन है, तो कैंसर का पेन है और उसको समझो स्टमक का कैंसर है, तो इफ यू गिव पेन किलर, स्टमक का ही कैंसर है तो पेन किलर एब्सॉर्ब ही नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि स्टमक तो कैंसरस है, तो वो पेन किलर को आप एक सपोजिटरी बनाते हैं. इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ सपोजिटरी, एंड दैट सपोजिटरी is now put into the anus and rectum. And do we remember, rectum has lot of blood vessels. Those blood vessels can come out of the anus and that is called pile. तो rectum के बाजू में बहुत blood vessels होती है और इस suppository से all the pain killers are released into blood and will relieve the intense pain of the cancer that the person is suffering from. So nice logic sir, हमने mouth में sorbitrate absorb करवाई जो heart attack prevent करती है. हमने stomach में से alcohol based cough syrup absorb करवाई. हमने intestine में, small intestine में gelatin loaded capsules को digest करवाया और absorb करवाई, और हमने large intestine से suppositories which have painkillers in them इसको absorb करवाया. Beautiful point. And then we have the logic called assimilation. So what is assimilation? Sir, assimilation, the absorbed food material becomes part of the protoplasm. This is called assimilation. Mitochondria oxidize food to liberate energy in the form of ATP. So after absorption of the food takes place, food goes into cells, और cells के अंदर glucose gets converted into glycogen. Amino acid get converted into protein. तो जो आपने डाइजेस्ट किया था प्रोटीन का अमीनो एसिड बनाया, स्टार्च या ग्लाइकोजन का ग्लूकोज बनाया, सेल में पहुंचने के बाद वापस से सिंपल सब्सटेंस कॉम्प्लेक्स बन जाता है, एंड ग्लूकोज बिकम्स ग्लाइकोजन, अमीनो एसिड बिकम प्रोटीन, एंड mitochondria start breaking down glucose to produce ATP. बहुत जल्दी हम लोग करेंगे, सुना होगा mitochondria do something called Krebs cycle, और Krebs cycle से ग्लूकोज को ब्रेक डाउन करके ATPs बनाए जाते हैं. What is that mechanism called as? Assimilation. And then we have egestion or evacuation. The undigested and unabsorbed substances are passed through the large intestine. No significant digestive activity takes place in the large intestine. Large intestine में waste products जाते हैं, वहाँ digestion नहीं होता है. And large intestine में absorption of water, minerals and certain drugs like suppositories or painkillers takes place. And secretion of mucus takes place, which helps in adhering the waste undigested particles together and lubricate it. तो पूरे आपके कोलोन में ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon में बहुत सारा mucus secrete होता है और mucus उस undigested waste material को lubricate करता है and then this fecal matter will be now passed from the cecum of the large intestine through the ileocecal valve and then it will pass into the rectum. So all the food enters via ileocecal valve from small intestine into cecum and then by peristalsis in the colon, all the undigested food or waste matter will enter into the rectum. And then you have the neural reflex. आप रात को सोते हो, आपके रेक्टम के अंदर सारा undigested waste, fecal matter जमा हो जाता है. When you get up in the morning, you get an urge of defecation. That urge is called as a neural reflex. And you go to the washroom, you sit on the commode, and from the brain, a message will go to your rectum, and your rectum will contract. The anal sphincter will relax and the fecal matter will pass out, and that is called as egestion, also called as evacuation, and stools are now passed out. So sir, with that we have talked about all the logics. We talked about ingestion, we talked about digestion, we talked about absorption, we talked about assimilation, and we have talked about egestion, and that is your process of nutrition. So we have understood it nicely in detail, and so we end today's lecture with a nice point: calorific value of nutrients. So the amount of heat liberated by complete combustion of 1 gram food in a bomb calorimeter is called as the gross calorific value. And in animals, the energy content of food is expressed in terms of heat energy. And the actual energy produced by 1 gram of food is called its physiological value. तो सर आप समझो 1 ग्राम फैट लेते हो और उसे एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट में डालते हो which is called as a bomb calorimeter. Bomb calorimeter के अंदर the fat molecules or that 1 gram of fat completely breaks down and releases energy in the form of heat. तो complete breakdown of fat, so जितनी भी heat release होती है, that is called as the gross calorific value. तो उसे gross calorific value कहते हैं, maximum calorific value. That is the maximum calorific value. But हमारे बॉडी के अंदर जब 1 ग्राम फैट ब्रेक होता है, तो relatively कम एनर्जी बनती है. So 1 gram of fat, when it breaks down within the human body, it will produce energy, but relatively less energy. And that is called as the physiological value. So the maximum energy for gross calorific value is always more than the actual value in the body, which is called as physiological value. तो हमारे 3 न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं, फैट्स, प्रोटीन्स और कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स. What are their gross calorific values and physiological values? In case of fats, fats have the maximum energy in them. In a bomb calorimeter, when it will break, 1 gram of fat will produce a gross calorific value of 9.45 kilocalories per gram. 1 ग्राम में से 9.45 किलो कैलोरीज की हीट लिबरेट होती है. And in our body, once we eat the fat, when the fat breaks in the body, then it produces 9 kilocalories per gram of fat, which is called as the physiological value. So 9 kilocalories is the physiological value. So sir, fats are well digested. How much is the maximum energy? 9.45. So gross calorific value, maximum energy is 9.45 kilocalorie per gram. And how much is the physiological value, actual value? Actual value, physiological value is around 9 kilocalorie per gram. So the difference is only 0.45 kilocalorie. Only 0.45 kilocalorie. So fats are relatively well digested. If we take 1 gram of carbohydrate and break it as a bomb calorimeter, then the maximum heat gross calorific value is 4.1 kilocalorie per gram. 4.1 kilocalorie per gram is the maximum energy called gross calorific value, which is much lower compared to fats. But fats maximum energy, carbohydrates is 4.1 kilocalorie, and in our body, when carbohydrates break down, the physiological value is 4. So very good. कार्बोहाइड्रेट में मैक्सिमम एनर्जी कितनी थी 4.1 और फिजियोलॉजिकल वैल्यू कितना है 4. सो हाउ मच इज द लॉस सर ओनली 0.1 का लॉस है, which means carbohydrates are also well digested in the human body. But if we take 1 gram of protein and put it in a bomb calorimeter and break it, it has a gross calorific value of 5.65. 5.65 is more than carbohydrates, but that is gross calorific value. Actually, when proteins break down, the physiological value is 4 kilocalorie per gram. So physiological value is only 4. So compare 5.65 to 4, the loss is 1.65 kilocalorie per gram. So that is a lot of energy which goes waste, and which means that proteins are not well digested in the body. So proteins are not well digested, carbohydrates are well digested, and fats are relatively well digested in the body. Proteins are not giving enough energy. तो ये क्यों है? Because proteins हमारे body में are required for not producing energy. हम लोग प्रोटीन क्यों खाते हैं? एनर्जी बनाने के लिए नहीं खाते हैं. हम लोग प्रोटीन खाते हैं for the growth of the body, for the repairing of the wear and tear of the body, for producing enzymes in the body, for producing hormones in the body. तो ये सब में proteins use होने चाहिए. And where should our body get energy from? Our body should get energy from carbohydrates, which are well digested, and fats, which are also well digested. And fats and carbohydrates are the actual energy molecules in your body, जिससे हमारी body को energy मिलती है. Sir, meat point of view, which is the best digested carbohydrate? 4.14. Which is the least well digested protein? 5.654. And who has the highest energy in it? Fats, 9.45 and 9. And in what sequence does breakdown take place? तो सब लोग मील खाते हैं एंड एवरीथिंग इज एब्सॉर्ब, सबसे पहले हमारे बॉडी में शुगर ब्रेक होता है एंड माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया यूज ग्लूकोज टू प्रोड्यूस एनर्जी। तो पहले ग्लूकोज यूज होता है, समझो सारा ग्लूकोज यूज हो गया तो बाद में फैट्स ब्रेक होते हैं और फैट्स तो हमारे बॉडी में बहुत रिजर्व में है, तो फैट्स कैन ब्रेक फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, बट समझो यू आर स्टार्विंग और फैट्स भी पूरी तरह ब्रेक डाउन हो गए हैं, तो लास्ट में प्रोटीन ब्रेक होते हैं, आपके मसल्स ब्रेक होने लगते हैं, आपके प्रोटीन्स ब्रेक होने लगते हैं। So in what sequence is nutrient broken down to produce energy? First carbohydrate, then fat, and last में proteins. चलो, so I hope you have understood everything well. Nice. Next session we have very important topic, all the diseases of the digestive system. So you're going to become doctors. You are going to treat diseases. So which are the diseases of the nutrition system or digestive system? Excellent logic. We will analyze this in the next lecture. Please work hard. See you all for the Zoom session. Take care, beta. God bless you all.